you know what? I'll just say this. The grocery store gonna get mad at me if I complain about the carts not being returned.
Wait, what?
Like if I come on the podcast and complain about something or talk about something,
Yeah.
am I supposed to talk about no people, places, or things while I'm here?
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
Hello everyone, how are you today? I hope you're having a really good day so far. If you're new here, my name's Taylor. I come to you from Baltimore City, Maryland, and here on my YouTube channel, I feature content that is generally focused on knitting and spinning. In this week's episode of what I call the Thread to Mend podcast, where I normally sit down and tell you about the things I'm currently working on, I have been working on nothing, and I've stressed out kind of all night last night and all morning today about what am I going to share with you all, and I think I'm just going to be honest and say I got nothing. I got nothing, and my neighbor is building a fence right now. I feel like this channel is a lot more than just knitting and spinning. I like to share with you all the things that I am not just working on, but the things that really spark joy and I develop deep interests in. And lately, my major interests have been skincare and makeup. I spend a lot of my time on YouTube consuming skincare knowledge. I listen to a lot of dermatologists here. Dr. Dre's content, I think, is a little dry. I think it's a little grating on my nerves sometimes because the way she goes about her content, it's very like dry. I don't know. It's not my favorite. My favorite has been Dr. Shireen Idris. I also really love the Doctorly channel and specifically their weekly podcast series. I love just listening to them talk to one another. I don't know. Sometimes a lot of their content is sponsored, and so you never really know who's talking. Is it the dermatologist or is it the brand they're representing? But Dr. Shireen Idris is my absolute favorite. I love watching her channel. And if my content today is not enough for you and you're maybe interested in learning more about skincare, I would definitely recommend any single video on her channel that might spark your interest. It's a lot of fun. And then, there is a knitting channel I've started watching lately, and I can't recall the name of it. I think her name is Melissa. Or is that someone else? Darn it. I'll just put it in the video here and I will link to it below, but her knitting content is superb. It is, not only is her knitting rather advanced and she knows what she's doing. Like when it comes to knitting, she knows what she's doing. There's no question about that. And she does, she knits a lot of other people's patterns. She modifies patterns. She develops her own garments to make from scratch. Such a good channel. If you're gonna watch some knitting content today or tomorrow or whenever you watch it, I would suggest checking out her channel because it is super inspiring and it does motivate me to want to knit again. I think that my issue really is that the projects I've cast on, I feel like are not quite working for me. I think that I had a lot of motivation to cast on new things and I planned a bunch of stuff, but I don't know, sometimes it just doesn't work out the way you think it would. And what I'm thinking about the most right now is the Celeste tee that I intended to knit with my hand spun. I think I'm going to frog this project mainly because one, I feel like I'm not smart enough to stay on track, and it's tedious. I'm gonna quit this knitting project. So I'm gonna tear this out, but I wanted to give it its final viewing. I think that the Celeste tee is gonna be a really nice garment for my wardrobe next spring. I hope to revisit this pattern again with a different stash of yarn I have, because I do believe that a very flat, evenly dyed color is gonna represent the intricate lace and bobble pattern a lot better than this slightly variegated heather hand spun, because there's some variation to the texture and the color of this hand spun yarn. I feel like the intricate pattern doesn't shine through all that. In fact, I think it kind of detracts from it, and so it's not quite as remarkable. Of course, it's not blocked, it's like an inch long piece of fabric, but I'm just finding it to be rather difficult to see and manipulate my stitches, and I feel like I need a little bit more practice with lace before I jump into a lace and bobble situation. It's hard enough to know what you're doing with lace, but then introduce bobbles every 10 stitches and it's just like, it's a lot. It's a lot for me right now. So I'm gonna tear this out. I honestly have no idea what I'm going to knit with my 3 skeins. I have a third over there with these 3 skeins of hand spun yarn. I think, you know, maybe a shawl would be nice. I don't know if I have the yardage for a nice big shawl, but maybe I could do like a, maybe I could do a shawl with this. Maybe like a triangular shawl that expands on the outer edge at a higher rate than the front center. So it's like nice and long. And then it'll be kind of like a short depth, nice long thing I can wrap around real nice. I don't know. I don't know. I think a shawl might be the best application of this because then I can wear it like whenever. And I feel like I don't have enough shawls. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But I think that this yarn is just going to go back in my stash. Do you like this cute project bag? I think it's so fun for spring and summer. It's very like seasonally appropriate. And this was given to me by Valerie. Thank you, Valerie. And I am loving it. It's so big and like you can see everything right from the top. So I've been loving this lately. I'm gonna frog this. I'm gonna put the yarn back in my stash. I'm gonna cast on something else. So there's that. I really haven't been knitting or spinning at all this week. Brian and I did go to the movie theater on Thursday. The Charles Theater here in Baltimore has a revival series where they show old movies on Thursday nights at 9 p.m. through the spring, summer. And it is so much fun to watch my favorite movies of all time in the theater. The very first time I ever saw the movie Alien was years ago at the Charles Theater. When I saw they were showing Aliens, the sequel, I was so excited and it was so good. It is so good. If you have not seen, I don't care if you like suspense thrillers or if you like alien movies or if you like military drama, I don't care. Like, you have to watch the movie Alien and the movie Aliens. And I know that I've seen the third Alien, you know, sequence of films, but I can't remember what it's like. But I can say that the original and the sequel are both some of the best movies that have ever been made. They are timeless. They are phenomenal. You would never imagine that those movies were made in 1979 or 1986. They are literally phenomenal. Phenomenal. The best ever. Like, please do yourself a favor and watch those 2 movies because they are so good. And if you disagree with me, you're wrong. So watch them again. If you think that I'm exaggerating, you need to watch them again. They're so good. Anyway, don't watch my content. Go watch Alien and the sequel Aliens if you haven't seen it. And that's all I have to share with you this week. I think I'm gonna go do something else now. One thing that I've been spending a lot of my time on lately is skincare and refining my inventory of skincare products and makeup. Like, I've been really into my makeup lately. I've spent more time each day applying makeup than I have been knitting, which is kind of sad when I think about it. I feel like I should be spending as much or more time knitting or spinning, but I kind of just needed a break. You know, I was spinning a bunch, and then there was the Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival, and I bought all of that yarn. Do you remember this? All of this yarn that I bought, like 2 sweater quantities of yarn. This yarn has been haunting me. Like, all I keep thinking about is like, why did you do that? Why did you do that to yourself? Why did you invest even more money and time into pieces of a wardrobe? You have a wardrobe. Like, it's not like I don't have a wardrobe of stuff to wear. I have more than I need to wear. In fact, one thing I want to do today is clean out my closet. I want to get rid of stuff. I don't want all of the things that I have anymore. I want space back. I feel like that's a constant struggle with us makers, is like, how much do we need? How much do we want? And how do we create space for all of it? One thing that I can say for sure is I value beauty. I love making a space neat and tidy and beautiful. I love making things. I just really love to create space. Like whether it's like a garment that takes up space, or it's, space without things. Like I love to create spaces that are beautiful. That could be like the space on my face. Like I'm trying to work with my adult hormonal acne right now. That's why I'm on my skincare journey. I have spent a lot of time this morning analyzing every single ingredients list to every single product. I've put it in a spreadsheet. I'll link to that spreadsheet below in case you're interested to know about what I put on my face. Maybe I'll do that with my makeup inventory one day, because I'm trying to keep that low. I'm not trying to expand on the things that I have, because I do value the space that I maintain, and I want to make sure I have room for it all. I want to thank you all so much for tuning in to this week's episode of the Thread to Mend podcast. If you want to find me on social media, my name is Taylor E. Owen on Ravelry and Instagram. You can find me over on TikTok as Taylor Knits. I hope you all have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and that you take care.